Aman, thank you so much for joining us here at the helm of GoDaddy, which services 21 million customers globally. You're here today speaking about formulas for success to the business community and just kind of touch upon some of the things that you're seeing.
Yeah, great to be here. Thanks for having me. And yes, I'm here at the Goldman Sachs conference, and it's an amazing conference, and talking about what I call formulas for winning. Because I feel, and I see this in our customers, every small business owner has some formula to win. So today I shared some of my favorite formulas, the inspiring stories of people who achieved a lot in the world, and I see our customers, small business owners, implement the same formulas, at a different scale, but literally the same thing. And I talk about my father, who was a small business owner, and he had a simple formula.
It's very personal for you.
Yeah, it's very personal for me. He was a small business owner for 45 years. And I asked him, I said, why did you leave a big company and come to a small business? And he said, I wanted greater opportunity for the family and for myself. I wanted to do the work I enjoy, and I wanted to be my own boss,
Right.
like a lot of people say. And he had a simple formula to win. He was first at work, last to leave, and worked hard to know the laws and rules that he advised on better than anybody else.
Right.
So that simple formula got him to be amongst the best in his business. And so I talk about great stories of Serena Williams and Roger Bannister and Cliff Young that not a lot of people know. And then I tell the stories of our customers who do the same things these very famous people have done. And these small business owners are using those same formulas to win. It's pretty exciting to see that. It's motivating for me to sort of come in every day and do better for them.
That's wonderful. And so some of those formulas of success you probably used in your own life. What are some of your personal go-to tactics that have gotten you to the CEO seat?
Yeah, one of the big things for me, which I call better every day, is about just coming in every day and being better than you were yesterday. That whole formula is about the idea that you don't need to compete with anybody else. You need to compete with the person you were yesterday. You know that person perfectly, what that person ate for lunch, you know how that person engaged with the customer, you know how that person took a support call, you know where that person could be better and where they are doing really well. But every day improve something and make it a bit better. And we saw that type of idea with Jiro in Jiro Dreams of Sushi, where he improves sushi every day. I give the example of the British cycling team. They're the world champions, the Olympic champions. They win. If one of them shows up in the event, they win. If they show up as a team event, they win. And they have world champions, right? They got to being the best because they just improve things little by little by little.
Every day.
And that's the habit that I tell folks to take. Improve everything by 1% every day. You'll be
Sounds
twice
like you
as
have
fast.
enough material for a book.
Some people have said that to me. Yeah.
And so you have a really interesting perspective because like we said, you have 21 million customers around the world and you're seeing trends before probably, the BLS or the government even gets the data, right? It's happening in real time. And at the same time, you run a publicly traded company.
Yes.
So you're looking ahead to the future. And so small businesses are a perfect bellwether for the US economy. What is the data through your venture forward research telling you right now?
Yeah, micro businesses and small businesses are the backbone of every community. So we have a study called Venture Forward where we took data from 20 million digital customers. We said, what impact do they have in their local economies? And the data is fantastic. They lead to increase in median income if you have one more micro business for every 100 people in a community. It leads to, each one creates a job. So there's really, really good stuff there. And what we also see, and we have the best data from the Great Recession in the 2007, 2008 time, we find that these folks are amazingly resilient and they're creative. What does that mean? What that means is that even as we look at the oncoming recession and tough times, and of course small business owners are concerned about that, right? But small business owners are at their best when that happens. Because they've got to wake up the next day and put food on the table, make things happen. So they are more creative in terms of just providing for their family, frankly, if that's what it takes. So what we find in our data is that even if their business hurts, we don't lose the customer at GoDaddy. They come in and start something new.
Okay.
Right?
So they will restart a new business.
They'll restart, right?
Yeah.
If their main business hurts,
and most of your customers have 5 employees or less, is that correct?
A third of our customers, they're the only employee in their business. One.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
Majority of our customers have 10 or less, a whole ton of our customers 5 or less, right? So they really are the smallest small businesses, and they're resilient. They do not give up. They go and start something different. If the main business hurts, they start a side hustle.
Mm-hmm.
or the side hustle becomes the main business.
Yeah.
And we see that.
We saw through the pandemic this huge surge in entrepreneurship at a 40-year high that we hadn't seen in our generation up until this point. And so curious now, as we're coming out of the pandemic, hopefully for good this time,
hopefully.
but looking ahead to the real potential about a recession, what guidance do you have for business owners for how to position themselves, and if they're looking for access to capital, which, short-term stimulus funding came in, but there's still a big gap there.
Yeah, the access to capital is a key point, right? We still have great need in small and micro businesses for that. And I will tell you, there's a challenge for small businesses. If you go to the micro level, these businesses need only a few $1,000s to start, but only 5% of them get any sort of help through the banking system. 5%.
And is the path towards bridging that gap through CDFIs and community-based lenders, or what?
I think we need support at every level. We need support at the policy level. We need support at the center. We need support at the communities. I'll give you one example. We are taking the venture forward data and we're going to mayors of every major city, small city in the US. We're saying, look at your data. Because mayors have data for small businesses, but they miss out the micro business part, right? Which is very important. So we give them that data and say, look, this is the impact. Here are your micro businesses. This is the impact they're having on your community. Create programs to support them. And we're getting more and more success with that, where at the local level, at the city level, programs are getting created to support small and micro businesses, and we think that's super important too. But it doesn't take the place of policy change at the top to support what is the backbone of the US economy. I think we can always do more there.
And so GoDaddy recently entered into the payment space.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about that and the future, some other plans that you might have in the works for the business?
Yeah, commerce is a key opportunity for our customers, right? 20 years ago, GoDaddy would work with customers, explain to them what a domain name was and what the internet was, and said, hey, you need to come online, this is a thing, right? Well, today those same customers want to transact online. So we want to offer those services for our customers, and our view is that it shouldn't take multiple services for our customers to do that. So as an example, we've said it publicly, we're offering a service where when you buy a domain name, you get a small site that takes payments for you automatically. You shouldn't have to buy something else or sign up for something else to do that. Because if your goal is to have your own name and be able to give a link to somebody and say, hey, send me a payment, why should you need a second service for that?
Right.
Your name should go out with that. Your customer should know that this is my name and this is my business, and go to a page that has your logo. And why should you as a micro small business pay more for that? It should be included in the domain name. So we're right from that, which is sort of at the basic level of domains, to omni-commerce services where small business owners can manage their online store, their Amazon, eBay, Etsy, Facebook, Google, all their social media market, all through one hub. Right? One page that tells them how they're performing, and our goal is make it super simple from the technology, but continue the human thing that we do too. Our claim to fame is that we have not just the tools, but the people that you can call to support.
Right? That's such an issue that, as a personal consumer, you can't get through to people today.
So
it's near
I walk
impossible.
around today at this conference, and one of the customers today said, hey, you're CEO of GoDaddy, are you going to give your email address? I said, right here.
Yeah.
Email me anytime. Because our business, we have a massive investment in what we call care. We don't call it call center, we call it care. We have guides. The job of guides is to support small business owners when they call. We don't give them scripts. They don't have a script, this is what we have to say. They listen to the customer and then they try to give them the best advice. And that's a key differentiator for us.
And you key that is the key to disrupting some of the other big players in the payment space, like the PayPals or the Venmos.
I think there are so many, the opportunity is so large. Like the largest opportunity in the world is transactions in the digital world. Right. So everybody is going to play in that space, but it's such a massive opportunity, but we're coming to it differently from others. We're coming to it with the combination of technological tools and human skill set that we know works really, really well because we work with 21 million customers, right? We know they need that combination, and we're happy to offer it.
Awesome. Well, Aman, thank you so much for joining us, and best of luck.
Thank you so much. Great to be here.